Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Spoken. Terry Love here, Derek Williams, Lance Twitwell here. Now, Chiefs lost their game against the Buffalo Bills in New York. 0-2 start. Not looking too good. Reminds you of last year already. To the Bills again, you lost too. Lance, what are your thoughts so far about that loss? I mean, we could talk about so many details about the game. I just want to know your overall point of view about the game.
Well, it obviously showed this team has tons of problems. More problems than I initially had thought going into camp, watching this team in the preseason, how sharp they looked. It looked to be a very promising season, but this game, what I felt was it was an opportunity for this team to show that not only can they bounce back from a bad loss and a frustrating loss at home, but also come back on the road and show that you can do it on the road, and it shows some intensity from the team. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Not only did that not happen, but this team showed me that there's not a lot of heart. They're not really fighting. They showed glimpses of what their talent is. The problem is they weren't following through. And I didn't feel that there was a lot of game plan. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but when I watched, I didn't see a lot of strategy. I just saw, well, let's just go out there and just hope for the best. It didn't really seem like they really had a lot of confidence. And we all knew C.J. Spiller was going to do his thing. Right. C.J. Spiller is more talented than people have even recognized nor given talent or credit for. So we knew he was going to have a little bit of a game. But the problem is there was so much spacing on defense, they could do pretty much whatever they wanted on offense. Fitzpatrick, I think, only threw the ball 19 times. I mean, they controlled the clock. They managed everything. They made the game look easy, and the Chiefs helped them out. So therefore, it wasn't the team I thought we would see on Sunday.
Derek?
I'm disappointed. I thought they'd be off to a better start than that right now. The team looks flat, looks unmotivated to play football, and that's on coaching. You got the talent there. You got to put these players and get them motivated. You got to put them in a better position. There has been no adjustment at halftime on defense. It looks bad. I was thinking this the other day. As far as defensively, now Romeo's been a defensive coordinator in this league for a long time. And his schemes, to me, what I'm thinking, maybe they're outdated to keep up with some of these new offenses. A lot of these his defenses were really strong when teams didn't throw the ball a lot.
Right.
But now these guys are throwing the ball 50 times. The offenses are so complex. You line up with these offenses, got 4 or 5 wideouts on the field. I don't know if Romeo is up to date with the new schemes of offense.
Is it his schemes, or is it because he's doing 2 jobs at one time? Could that be hindering him?
I don't think it's 2 jobs. There's a lot of coaches that do 2 jobs and are really good at it. I think from what I'm seeing, some of his schemes, and I don't know if he can figure out some of these new offenses in the league.
Or do you think that he's willing to even change? Because, we know when guys get settled into something they find successful, they feel that they can continue to do it no matter what comes against them. Like you were just saying about the 3-4 wide at a time, and it looks like we're outmatched from the beginning before they even hike the ball.
Well, a lot of it might just be like he might be just old and stuck in his ways.
That's right.
Sometimes stubbornnness, will get you in trouble.
Right. So the guy from 610, Bob
Fesco.
There we go. Had a rant on 610 Radio. What do you think about that, Derek? Start with you. He had a rant kind of similar to Scott Pioli.
I don't mind Bob Fesco rant, but he's not the one that needs to be ranting. Romeo Crennel needs to be ranting and getting these guys ready to play football.
I don't know.
Right.
Clark Hunt, somebody on the team. This team has no leader. You cannot point to one guy and say that guy's a leader.
Oh, number 7's not a leader?
You had to do it.
Not getting it done.
You had to do it.
He's not a leader.
You had to do it.
And I was at training camp, and I thought that he was ready to take that next step. And when we was at training camp, but he's not. Nobody's leading this team. When you look at teams, when you look at New England, Tom Brady's the leader. You look at Baltimore, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed's the leader. When you look at the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers is the leader. I know he's been coming under fire here the last couple of days for him not being a leader.
Who's that coming from? Jermichael Finley.
Yeah, but I still think Aaron Rodgers is a leader. All the great teams. Drew Brees is a leader. Yeah. Who's the leader on this team? Who's going to step up and lead this team? We don't have that guy.
A lot of people thought it'd been Tom Ali. Problem is that he has his own problems going on. We don't expect these guys to be perfect.
He's not even an outspoken guy anyway.
Right.
When they interview Chiefs, you never see anything with Tom. You see Derek Johnson talking more than anybody, but he's not a big time rah guy neither. He's kind of subtle.
I will tell you that what I loved Bob Fesco's rant because it was very timely. He really captured the frustration of this fan base in general. Right. I think everybody, to an extent, even if they said, well, I think he was a little too passionate, they can agree to what he was saying. The fact that this team, he can deal with sucky players. Chiefs have had bad players before. We've accepted the fact that they just suck. The problem is this team is not a terribly talentless team. We have a lot of talent on this team. A lot of people consider this the most talented Chiefs team in a long time. The problem is they're not putting any heart, like we were talking about earlier. No heart, no aggression, no will to get back into the game. And that's the frustrating part. That's when you say, you know what, you guys suck because you have all the talent. You're not showcasing it. And it does go back to what we talked about in May when I made my video about to Scott Pioli. About the fact that I saw a lot of things that I didn't like that were going to lead up to what we're going to see this year. I wished for the best, but I was prepared for the worst. I think we all were. You know, giving a retread quarterback the chance, to be a franchise quarterback, and he's not being that with $60 million on his plate. You know, there was things linebacker like we talked about before the show, wide open. Javon Belcher's being a starter. Are you serious? He's got to be a backup. You know, we have a lot of backups playing roles that they have no business playing. You know, and that's the thing. That's the frustrating part. And now we're sitting here at 0-2. Fans are freaking out. What's happened? I thought this and I thought that. Well, guys, I guess this team fooled us on training camp and preseason because they're showing us they're not who they said they were.
I mean, the first game of the preseason when we marched down the field in the Arizona Cardinals, we thought, okay, this is it. You know, no one can stop us. But then.
And that's why I told you guys, Derek. That's why I told you guys I was going to hold out my opinion about Castle this season until I saw him play a legitimate defense. And he played good in the first half against the Falcons. I'll give him that. But he didn't put a whole game together. And we don't even need to talk about the Bills game because he's throwing at defenders' feet. He's throwing picks that were just like, what are you doing? You know, he shows glimpses here and there, like I was talking about to Nick Athen. He looks like a genius at times because he does just enough to get him a start for the next week. Because, people are going to want Brady Quinn, which I think is ridiculous, but he does just enough.
The Chiefs aren't even going to show you Brady Quinn because the Chiefs, last thing they want is a controversy.
Yes.
But it comes back to what Bob Fesco said. I don't have a problem with it. Actually, what he said is probably not even as bad as what's going on in a lot of Chiefs fans' living rooms.
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. Right. Totally agree with you.
Right. We go to New Orleans, the Superdome on Sunday, to play Drew Brees, and they're 0-2 as well. They're most likely more frustrated than we are, and they have around the same talent, or if not better talent than we do, to go ahead and win that game at home for them. Drew Brees is not going to hold anything back to us. Brendan Flowers and everybody's going to have to be ready because they're going to bring it. They're going to bring it. I mean, route everybody, the safeties, Eric Berry. We need Kendrick Lewis back. We need a lot of things going on right now. Our running game is doing well by numbers wise, but just like I read an article online that said that Matt House is not the problem. They believe he is part of the problem, but they also believe that it's the running game not executing when needed to, as well as our defense, like you were saying earlier, we're working for now. So, prediction for Sunday, gentlemen.
Well, I picked the Chiefs. I've picked the Chiefs both weeks so far. I'm not going to be foolish enough and do that again. I think the Drew Brees, we're catching the Saints at the worst time possible. Right. And he's on a 9-game, 300-yard streak, the longest in NFL history. He's back in the Superdome. He ain't losing 2 straight games at home. I think that they're going to win, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't know if it's going to be a big blowout. I think the Chiefs will score points, maybe 19-24, somewhere in that region. But I think the Saints are definitely going to have their way at home.
All right.
I hate to do this. I hate to pick against the Chiefs. I really do. I don't know if I picked against Chiefs in a long time. I can't do it this week. I can't do it this week.
He's just doing this to build up the intensity of our show. I
can't do it this week.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Wow, Terry.
I'm going to Chiefs 23-20. In a desperation must-win game.
Desperation must-win situation. I feel that way too. I mean, for some reason we play up to the level of our competition. If we play a sucky team, we usually play sucky. Sometimes we play a high-ranking team like Green Bay last year, then we play to the level and exceed that.
Where was that against the Falcons? Where was that?
I don't feel good as I did going into that Green Bay game because that Green Bay game, I'm telling you, I felt good.
Yeah. So right now we're ranked 3 in the AFC West. Under San Diego's #1 and 2 the Denver Broncos. So
you guys are good fans. I'm gonna say right now, I'm proud to sit here next to you guys because I can't believe we're gonna hold the Saints to 20 freaking points at home.
We're gonna do it.
20 points. Wow. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, we heard that talk before.
I forget. I've told you guys delusional before, but man,
you gotta believe.
We might have to take a drug test after the show's done, man.
I wrote a song last year. You gotta believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Unspoken. Today's episode on Thursday, the 20th of September. Chiefs play Sunday against the Saints. Wish us luck next time.
We'll need more than luck.
Andrew.
Andrew. Andrew, where are you?
Where are you, bro?